Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from around the world. We've got our second best of three of the day coming at you here for the Summit 3 European pre-qualifiers. We've got Power Rangers versus Moscow5. Now, I know some of y'all are looking at your programs, wondering why in God's good name is this not Tinker? That is what I signed up for today when I committed to my day of Dota, and, well, there have been some changes afoot. Changes in rosters, and the admins are working on it, but Moscow5 has replaced them in the European division. That's all I'm at liberty to say about it. And here again, we'll be in the opening round. Best of three, fighting for survival on the single limb. I'm Zyori, joined again by Kotlguy. Dakota, what is the good word, my man?
10 seconds
remaining. Dakota.
Oh, I have to hit the button to talk. I keep forgetting that. I'm just here casually talking, and you're like, "Uh-oh, Mike, did I say something dumb?" But
yeah. All right. There we go.
The good word, Zyori, is change, obviously, with how things are going. But I'm sure that episode of In the Studio you were talking about before is probably going to cover exactly what the hell's going on, possibly. So, people, if you want to get your answers, if you want to find out what exactly we have afoot for the rest of the Summit 3, I would recommend checking out the In the Studio episode that should be, coming on to be on the Summit 1 channel after the conclusion of today's matches, right?
Mm-hmm. I believe so. That is the latest info that I've heard, but everything is subject to change. That's kind of the state of the game. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe we should have switched to BTS 1. I didn't really think about it, but yeah, we're on BTS 2. Well, we're committed at this point, Dakota, so we're gonna keep this train rolling over here on the BTS second channel. But
yeah, we
got
a good thing here. We got a good thing here, all right?
Now, they've got a rebroadcast on BTS 1, so that's good. We've got our bases covered. All right, so what are we looking at here? Boy, this draft going by quickly. Power Rangers with Avenge Bat Rider opener. Great to have that swap on your side when you're the one in control of the lasso. Moscow5, Juggernaut and Night Stalker. And you know what? I just realized that I'm a complete moron. I've been saying position 4 Night Stalker. I know, I'm so stupid it took me this long to realize it. I've been saying Hellraisers are the team that did the position 4 Night Stalker. And that's bullshit. It's Moscow5. Screen. He's the one that plays that position 4 Night Stalker. And seeing it picked up early here, I think it could be an actual possibility. This is the guy that knows how to do it, and do it he may.
Maybe Moscow5 are like the Root Gaming of this scene over here. Very innovative. I like that. I am down with the spicy 4-position Night Stalker. These Daywalkers are just garbage. We got to get rid of them. So I think it's a good grab there. This is the first time we're going to be seeing a Juggernaut today. So, you know, even though we get plenty of them every other day, this is the first time we'll get to see the sword wielder really try to bring it home. Power Rangers now, they get their precious Shadow Fiend on Radiant's side, which is probably his more preferred side, and they follow it up with an Ancient Apparition. Pretty interesting grab here, considering there's no real heal. With the exception of the ward from Jug, I suppose, it does help with that. Just leads me to believe they're looking to have a nice early level 1, or just rather aggressive early game, or they are, I don't know, they got something up their sleeve here. Maybe a global strat in the works. Who knows?
Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
There we go. Sorry, I'm back. I had a little tech issue there. So, anyway, I don't know. It could be a Midnight Stalker. This is the final pick is what it's going to come down to. They could throw him in the mid.
That's the beautiful thing, dude.
Yeah.
Is getting something like a Night Stalker he's a flexy. He's a flexy, you know? Just, it's like how back in the day people used to get like Mirana early. You didn't really know at that point if she was an offlaner, a core. Yeah, that's right, kids. People used to run Mirana as a core. It's crazy. But, you know, she used to be in the offlane kind of position as well, then really became a support. Now we just don't see the lady at all. So that's unfortunate for her. But when you get flexible heroes at the get-go like this, you have the option to make audible calls, and you're going to keep your opponents guessing. They don't know how you're going to lane it up either, so that could change things for them. They're thinking pretty hard about this 5th pick. They don't have a lot of meat. They don't have, like, you know, the girth for their team, a frontliner or something. Plus, they already have great lockdown with Bat Rider. It still wouldn't hurt to have more initiation, so we'll have to see.
They need a beefcake here. They've got a couple of options. Bat Rider will be the one in the off lane most likely, so they really need a position 1. Depending on how much stock they want to put in the Shadow Fiend, if they wanted to do like more of a single carry core lineup, they could go something like Safe Lane Centaur, prioritizes Blink. Safe Lane Brewmaster could be an option as well for the Power Rangers if they wanted to go that route.
I like the Weaver band. Weaver and Ancient Apparition were really good in a laning phase with that early chilling touch. He could just kind of easily Sakuchi in there and get the few extra early pot shots in. And with something like chilling touch, it's huge and hard-hitting damage. With that Gemini attack, it could be ridiculous. But it's going to be the Ursa. Ooh. This is a Radiant side Ursa right here. The second time we're going to see this guy today. Crazy.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. I don't know. Ursa, I don't think is particularly strong right now, but he can work really well in these greedier lineups if he spends some time in the jungle. But if he's got unadulterated free farm, well, that's pretty good, and he can definitely snowball out of control. But here we go, the Medusa. Don't look at her because she's scary.
What is Ursa gonna do against the Medusa?
He's got to look at her.
He's like, I want to hit you, but I got to quit you. I got to look away.
So the name of the game for Ursa: hit it and quit it. As soon as she uses that stone gaze, just get the hell out of there. Throw a bag on her face.
Prepare for battle.
Oh boy. Well, I think this Moscow5 draft is just a little more scary, Dakota, I have to say. The Night Stalker for some nice early aggression. You've got a Jug who can put some pressure in lane, really transition into a nice carry. And then you've got pretty much the ultimate late gamer. You got the Medusa, the big snake lady herself. We'll see how they do it. Now, pronouncing some of these names may be a little difficult. Again, we're not ticketed here, folks. So, Dakota, I'll let you pick your poison. Whichever one you want, you can start off.
Yeah, you please take Moscow5. Apparently you casted them recently. I'll let you try to butcher that one over there. But on your Radiant side, it is the Power Rangers. We got the dirty one, Mr. Dityara, who's going to be playing your Ursa. Very intriguing pick, nonetheless. J4 is on your support, Vengeful Spirit. Shadow Fiend is... I don't know right now. I'll figure out, do the deduction in my head, but for now he's very loud. Apparently, 3 exclamation points is apparently the name he's decided to rep.
They've been running a stand-in. It's probably Roger or QW. If it's QW, he's been playing a lot of Shadow Fiend. Here, I'll pull up his... Nope, he's private. Well, it could be anyone. Could be anyone.
Yeah, well, thank you, Mr. Shadow Fiend, for that. So he'll be Shadow Fiend probably for the most part for me, at least. So Nico's going to be playing your Ancient Apparition. And to round things out, bottom lane, Cheshire Cat on your Bat Rider now.
He went sticky level 1.
Oh, he's in trouble.
He's got no Firefly.
He's going to get body blocked here. And he's got Cogs on Slander. Yeah, he's done for. This is an early first blood for Moscow5. Well played to them. Unfortunate for Bat Rider going with the early point into the sticky icky.
Yes, sir. Now for the dire side, I don't know exactly who's who for a couple of these, but we've got Screen on the Night Stalker in this aggro try. We've got Big Num. He's on the Demon Witch Lion, and that leaves us with a Juggernaut played by some fella named Decadence. In the mid, we've got Medusa, and in the nearby jungle here, we've got Slander on the Clockwork. Looks like he'll be headed to the safe lane, so both teams the right idea here. Aggro try, and they're going to aggro onto Slander. It's hit by the missile. Centaur's joining the fun. Frosty throwing in the chilling touch auto attacks, but there are some power cogs down, and Clockwork will be okay.
So a solo safe lane Clockwork here. They immediately go on the prowl. They happen to cross paths. It forces his Clockwork to use an early salve, so that sucks. And PR are able to get a nice little D-ward down here. So now there'll be no vision of any rotations up towards this Clockwork. He is going to be scared.
He will certainly be. He's going to use this camp, and it looks like that ward came down after the first spawn. Of course, that will block it out. So Slender going to get a little bit of a freebie here in terms of experience. We'll burn some mana off J4. Actually, a big victory against the Venge, who already has mana issues early on. So all in all, Slender doing all right. How is the safe lane farmer for PR doing? Bat Rider, he's at least getting more experience, halfway through level 3. Double Ring of Protection opener from Cheshire Cat. That's fascinating as well. Not a hero you typically see this on. I think Jakiro and Necrophos are the two that I've seen this the most. I'm trying to think of a time at all that I've seen Bat Rider go with this opener.
Yeah, it's a very interesting opener, but having Bat Rider in the safe lane is already a pretty interesting situation. So having a build with it to follow, he's probably expecting. Obviously, both teams read kind of the laning setup okay. I mean, an aggro bottom if you're going this much durability, you were just expecting it. But Night Stalker's been missing for a while. He's being early mobile, checks out the 2-minute rune, gets it. It's an illusion. They can't really do much to Batrider down here, though, with that flight now at the ready. It's going to be hard. Maybe at first Nightfall they'll have enough to get a hold of him, but outside of that, he just might have to work with the jungle a little bit on the side.
No, you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly what they'll do. They'll wait for that first Knight to strike at the 4-minute mark.
I have to get the door. I'm just going to let you know I'm not here.
All right, got it. So, Zyori solo cast ensues. Mid lane, ooh, Medusa could find herself in a little bit of trouble. J4 holding the high ground on this Venge. Look at this Venge set, by the way. Wow, look how cool. Ooh, wow, I like it. I want the Umbral Glaive. What? Where did this set come from? I like it. Jackpot. Clockwork, he's going to grab himself the bounty rune. That's, ooh, mama, that's nice. And Illusion will get picked up by the Night Stalker down in the bottom. So M5 controlling the runes, at least out of the gate. J4 is going to come in the mid. Medusa moving very far forward in the lane. But J4, he's just walking about. Actually not going to throw out a stun. Instead, just gets harassed back, takes a snake to the face, and goes from well, full to pretty wounded in just a matter of moments. He eats a tango, and J4 kind of a Venge without a home for now. You're on the off lane, farming very nicely on this Ursa, the last hit leader right now. Just a few up on the jug. Goes to the side shot, grabs himself some phase boots. So both, well, I would say safe lane farmers, but aggro lane farmers doing pretty well, essentially uncontested. The support struggling a little bit in terms of XP here. Looks like Screen and Big Num will linger around in the lane a bit longer. We're about to hit nighttime, so I think they will want to go for some sort of an aggressive play, maybe even with the assistance of a lucky rune here for the Lion. Batrider lingering nearby, find some mud golems, and that regen not going to help the Lion out all too much. Medusa, though, she'll be happy to slither her way down and bottle it up. And that'll do it. Now, of course, while I'm looking at that, tunnel vision to the extreme. It's a 1-for-0 trade up in the top. Clockwork gets a pick onto the Vengeful Spirit as they skirmish for the rune. And Slander will make it out. Seneko guesses the wrong way here, and he'll just head back towards me.
Where's he going to go?
Good
Sorry,
question.
I'm out of breath. I had to run up the stairs.
L suicide into the tower. There you go. Yeah, no, and he's got nowhere else to go. So, all right. Whew, welcome back.
Sorry about that. It was a food delivery, but not a pizza. Have you ever heard of Blue Apron?
If it's not pizza, I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, well, they send you like produce and to make meals, so you can like cook it and stuff. You know what I mean?
That's nice.
Yeah, I had to run downstairs and get that. Sorry, it's like a couple of flights. Let me catch my breath here.
Good old New York. So here we go in the mid lane. QW initiated on its nighttime, and Screen's going a hunting. But forces out a TP reaction. Now J4 rotates over Screen, make it turn around on, and he does. It's a 1-for-0 the other way. And not the initial gank this Night Stalker was hoping for. The Power Rangers taking him down in the mid and keeping QW alive.
Yeah, very well played. As a good defense. They had all hands on deck to make sure that when that night fell, they know what to expect, and they were ready for it. So, not a good start. Not the quota you want to meet when you're running around here. And now he has eyes potentially for this top lane. Would love to get this Ursa.
Yeah, I feel like going for the Batrider might have been a safer play just in general for Moscow5 there about this first night. You know Cheshire Cat's going to be in the jungle. You know he hasn't gotten too much out of the lane. Sure, he's got some XP, but, you know, still reasonably weak. Maybe they were deterred by the bling, the Rings of Protection. But, yeah, that dive not going to work out. Dityara, he'll just rotate to the safe lane. Now that Batrider's level 5, the team will get the stacks going. Sharing is caring. He'll have a nice triple stack at this hard camp. Looks like just a set of dire wolves for there, and yeah, he's going to recover quite nicely. Cheshire Cat will start farming him up, and now space made for Dityara to take over the safe lane. Looks like the Dire will do the same for the most part. Jug, actually, no, he's still lingering around down bottom. I wonder when they will try to rotate out Decadence, because, yep, that's exactly what's going to happen. You get close to the Ursa, and he's going to give you those Fury swipes.
Yeah, this is not a matchup he's happy about. Certainly not. So he'll need the assistance. Just works with what kind of creep liberty he's got for now. We'll be able to soak up the bits of XP regardless. And he's trying to push himself to that level 6. Getting Omni Slash, then maybe he can look for opportunities to get quick little snipes with that, you know, one-man ult. But unfortunately for now, he's got the bear on his hands, and it's going to be a bit of a tussle. Plus, this puts Dityara in a position where he's going to be much closer to the Roche Pit to eventually sneak over and maybe get that done. But he could have his hands full. Here comes backup from Moscow5. They see the pull, though, and they want a piece of the Iceman here. But Soniko's going to make himself away. He's pretty fast. He's got his boots, so not going to be an easy snag.
Yeah, those boots of speed living up to their name. Dityara may get dove down bottom. We're still into the night cycle. going to expire soon-ish, but Screen still has some time. Level 4, just brown boots. Eager to make something happen, but Power Rangers, they're keen to the trick. They know what's going on with it, and they've got these supports ready to rotate at a moment's notice. Now Seneko and J4 meeting up with Dityara, and well, they will deter any kind of ganks coming the Ursa's way. Juggernaut's still not yet level 6. I think PR off to a pretty damn good start here. They've got a nice 750 gold, 1,000 experience lead at only the 8-minute mark. And Dityara, 1,400 gold, maybe thinking about Blink Dagger in his near future.
Well, here is your rotation. Decadence is like, I am deserting bottom. Done with that crap. Top lane, he's going to farm it on up. Slander's been taking the advantage of his own lane and has built his way to level 6, so he doesn't need to really farm XP more. Now he wants to go and find some setups here with the hook shot. It's daytime, so it's their best chance now with Nightstalker kind of not at his true form. So let's see if he can find anything here in the mid lane.
Alright, Shadow Fiend farming up like a madman. Him and Dusa both actually farming very nicely in the mid. Both with Aquila, their boots picked up. We've got some nice phasies there on the Dusa and some power treads on the Shadow Friend. I'm going to switch over to the net worth now, see how everyone else is faring. See, now the nice thing for Moscow5 is they don't really need this Jug to be turbo farmed. I feel like this could be a decent Aghanims game for the Jug, honestly. Just have a presence in the mid game, create some space for the Dusa, and then once you get past that like 30-minute barrier, that's when the Gorgon will really come online and she'll be the carry doing all that damage.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the cut and drive it is just, they want Jug to be a factor now, so the 4 of them can go out and kick some ass. That way they forget about Medusa. Medusa gets her farm up, and just when PR feel like they're finally coming even, or maybe even coming ahead a bit against just the 4, next thing you know, Medusa pops up, and they are not ahead of the game as they thought once before. So with that, though, PR, they have their wits about them. They're looking to smoke now. It's them looking to go on the offensive here, and they're heading towards the mid lane.
Okie dokie. Fight may break out. I was just looking at the pronunciation of Medusa's name. I think it's something like Ava, something along those lines. It's always hard to read sounds from Eastern Europeaners because they think that our sounds make different sounds that they do. But here we go, J4. Oh, hook shot from Slander. This Venge is going to be isolated and brought down. Yeah, it's a nice pick there for Moscow5 as Power Rangers are slapped down for trying to invade the Dire Jungle. But now the Blink Daggers are out, Dakota. One on the Bat Rider, one on the Ursa. The Blink Brothers are in town. Let's see what PR can get done with them.
Yeah, this is the thing. I'm calling out for Moscow5 that this is the period when the 4 of them go kick ass, but you can't kick ass too well when you got a Blink Dagger here now ready on your Bat Rider. This is his prime time to shine. I bet he wishes he had the 100 gold for a smoke. This is a good time to blaze it on up and surprise someone. Wonder if he waits and maybe sells a branch.
Sell those branches, dude.
Yeah,
get him out of there.
It's time to get danky. And he's going to go ahead and try to get a quick snag. But bottom lane, they're making the jump right now. And
talk about your quick
vampire
snag.
Has been slain. Yeah, that was just a stake through the heart, if you will, Zyori.
Oh, yeah. Demoralizing indeed. Cheshire Cat, TP's mid, no smoke, but he's fireflied up. He sees that Dusa and says, doesn't that look yummy? She'll back on up, actually grabs the Stone Gaze nice and early on here, and that first attempted gank from Cheshire Cat will not go through. Instead, he looks towards the jungle, maybe thinking about a Stackerino here. Yep, I think that's what he's going to do. So level 7 Cheshire Cat really recovering nicely from that tough laning phase. Good 800 net worth up on the clockwork. Bottom lane, looks like something might break out. Screen TP's in as the Ursa TP's out. Yep. And both teams will disengage.
That was a nice little sneaky play. Ura was getting a bit extra aggressive there on the bottom. And then with rotations coming out from Moscow5, he hides in the dark. They thought they have the stun. They are still trying to figure out where the hell this guy went. He blinked up to the north. They weren't expecting that. They tried scouting it out. He even dropped the cogs for maybe the bumper to stop him from TPing, but he had been gone already. So much time and space created right there from Ditya. So applauds to him. Fun little side note that I read and I wanted to confirm. So Mr. Screen, the Night Soccer player for Moscow5, is currently the #2 ladder or #2 ranked EEL player. So
wow,
good for him.
Screen rocking up that EEL. That's exciting. That's fun. Ooh, a couple of smokes picked up, one on each side. Lion gets one on the Dire. Venge gets one on the Radiant. Both sides eking for a little bit of aggression. Down bottom, Dityara bumps into Screen again, and is Screen going to be able to make it out? One more Fury swipe, and Ditya does it. He's going to blink TP. Is this deja vu or what, Dakota? Blink on cooldown for another second. Does he make it out? He does. Well played by the Ditya, and that's another one up on the scoreboard for him.
But we have fisticuffs still happening here. Cheshire Car able to kite around the clockwork and eventually roasts him up. Power Rangers get another sweet one right there. Just too many fights breaking out at the exact same moment.
Okay, so 5-3. It is going to be Power Rangers that have gotten the better of these exchanges. Ooh, that's not the button I was looking for. And still holding on to that very minor gold lead they have for themselves, though. M5 are still farming pretty nicely also. This Dusa has just been a staple part of this mid lane. Her and Shadow Fiend both, they have not left this mid lane. Both of them just having an arms race to see who can acquire more of a critical mass. Shadow Fiend will go for that mech build that we've seen oh so popularized. And down bottom, Dityara gets left alone and just hides in the trees as M5 came in for actually a smoke gank. The Jug is still smoked up.
Yeah, he is yet to really debut a real solid Omni grab here, so they are on the prowl, but they are going to be coming up short. Just seems like for now, Power Rangers one step ahead. A bit nerve-wracking here, but let's touch base with our Medusa. This is supposed to be the dark horse for the Moscow5 team right now, and well, she's got her Yasha, a full bottle to work with, but still second, at least in net worth, quite a ways behind actually. Your Shadow Fiend is grossly farmed this game.
Yeah, gross is the right word for it. Now has the mech up, 13 minutes. Not a bad timing, given that he went Aquila, Treads, all these other early items before actually committing to the mech. Now we'll see the fight break out. Finger comes out straight away on the Shadow Fiend, but he'll mech it up. They may still find the kill on the line. Shadow Fiend completely isolated from the rest of the team. Beautiful cogs to make it happen. Dusa coming in. She's got the Stone Gaze on. And it's really not going to make much of a difference. It'll just be a quick pick on the Shadow Fiend as Power Rangers scatter about and just try to find some farm while the lanes are open.
Yeah, they just kind of read that situation well. Power Rangers realize that this is just not the fight for them. They immediately bail and go find farm elsewhere. Just coming to a quick agreement like that we're going to sack this tower. This isn't for us. Let's go do things elsewhere. And you know, obviously without Batrider nearby, it's the smart choice. So Batrider continues to find his farm. He wants to finish that Batrider tool belt and get that Force Staff underway. So whoever he does target, he can bring him right back into the arms for the rest of his team, and it should be for easy pickings.
Now, Ursa has picked up his Morbid Mask, so that opens up some Roche possibilities here. To see AA pinging out the Roche, saying that someone is nearby. Same goes for Jug. He has his Mask of Madness, moving into the Yasha. He's getting into solo Roche territory, especially with that healing ward. Curious which team will try to go for it first, and which team, and if either of these teams will be able to actually contest it. Both have global scouting tools, your Rocket Flare, your Ice Blast, Batrider, who's notorious for his power around the pit. All these heroes that do so well outside of Roche. And speaking of the Devil, Decadence, trying to get aggressive onto the Ancient Apparition, but will get pushed back as Shadow Fiend makes his presence known.
So I was while you were talking, I was checking out Ancient Apparition here and checking out his build, which is going for Force Staff, which is okay. I wanted to go into, like, you know, I like to play support. I like Ancient Apparition. I feel like this kind of game, knowing that there's a Medusa on the other team and that there is a chance it possibly can go a bit late, I think it could be a bit greedy and go for an early Midas and build from there. But Force Staff is like, that's an AA who wants to be near the fight to help out. You do need the Force Staff. I mean, you're going against the Clockwork. It's just unfortunate that it has to be someone like AA who typically could be at his best even from afar with his ultimate. But anyways, what I'm getting at is top lane, he tried to do a backdoor blade to deny the top tower there. They glyphed it and he had to TP out. Almost died just from the tower aggro. So there's still a very weak tower up here that's easy to deny or pick up.
Alright, M5 grouped up around the high ground outside of the Roche pit, perhaps thinking about making a play into that area of the map. Do they have a smoke about them? They do not, so not a smoke. I don't see that happening. Dusa picks up her Yasha as well. M5 just going some farming tools here. Two heroes with phase boots, Yasha. No arcane boots on anyone this game. Wow, no love for the mana. Here we go. There's that smoke rotation, though. They will group up, and I think this is the Roche play coming from Moscow5. It's not. Spoke too soon. They're making a fool out of me here, Dakota. They're going to move into the Radiant Jungle. Screen wants to get aggressive during this night cycle.
There they go. They got eyes for Ursa. Dityara, how's his trigger finger? Is he going to be able to blink away at a moment's notice here? Phases forward. There's the rocket. Oh. And now he could be caught. Silence is going to be there. They're going to look to run him down. He's trying to hide in the creeps and prevent any sort of Omni Slash, but it's not even going to be necessary, and he will go down. They also deny the top tower. They get Medusa rotated up there. AA was trying to push the lane, but now she's going to get snagged up from Batrider. Lasso's going to connect with the beautiful Ice Blast follow-up. So it's going to be a core for a core trade. Better advantage, I'd have to say, for PR, considering Medusa wants to get all the farm she can.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the Ursa can, well, they can both recover pretty well. And even trade around the map. Dusa still very, very squishy, especially if you hit her with that Ice Blast. Just makes taking her down all the easier. There's your Force Staff out on the Ancient Apparition. You were talking about it, and really good timing for Seneko. He's got 21 last hits, 1, 0, and 2. Found a decent bit of farm for himself early on, one of the more farmed supports in this game. If you compare him to his counterpart here, the Venge, yeah, she's playing that sacrificial lamb role. Only 1,300 net worth, going for the wards. And wow, look at this, Dakota. It's not the Vlads you normally see on Ursa. It is indeed the Mask of Madness for a little bit of turbo farming.
Wow, that's just crazy. Might even say mad, if you will. It's just, but
oh Jesus,
that's. I mean, you know, the nice thing he's got going for him is maybe he's just counting on the fact that Bat Rider's lockdown will just pull him into Ursa and he'll have uncontested, like, severe right-click damage. And he's putting it to the test here. He's got the smoke. He's Furied up at the ready. Oh, but the Clockwork going to be able to get the catch on the Shadow Fiend. He pops his mech. Ice Blast. A little too late to help on the sustain power, but Jug is desperate to spin away from this one. They are able to finish off Night Stalker. Oh, Decadence! The slow! The Ice Vortex! Throws up the ward. Oh, but 2 quick swipes and Ditya takes him down very easily.
Yeah, I thought he might shatter there, but it's still a 2-for-0 trade going the way of PR. They get a core and a support. Not so shabby. Now they move into the Roche Pit. Dire scouted out with a Rocket Flare. Jug down for 28. There's a Blink Rider. Lasso right onto Big Num. They get him stuck on the high ground. Drops a finger onto Shadow Fiend, who will actually die. Nice heads-up play from the Lion. And now comes the contest from Moscow5. Power Rangers possibly in some trouble here. Roshan goes down. It will actually be Ursa that gets the Aegis. So they'll be okay on that front, but now they're starting to get cleaned up. Ditya doing as much damage as he can. Seneko makes it the high ground. He'll survive for now as the Venge has already gone down. Looks like things will settle. And PR will be the ones that come out victorious, walk away with the Aegis still in tow on their Ursa.
Yeah, great grab for them. This is their time where they're going to be thriving that much harder here. So Nico makes his way out, but Screen still wanted to see if he could find him somewhere, but not going to catch it. Plus he has Ditya nearby just in case. So now the dust will settle. PR feeling a bit more confident. Moscow5 now, they've been running in groups, finding fights for quite a while. They might need just to take this moment, settle down, and itemize a bit more.
Yep. I'm curious where Screen's going to go, because he's level 8. We haven't seen much item progression out of him. Sure, he's playing a support role, but you want this Night Stalker to be in this kind of a position so that he can make a little space for your team, ideally get an Aghanim Scepter, give you that yummy vision during nighttime, and level 8, 500 gold in the bank, he is pretty broke, and I'm not sure when this Night Stalker really starts finding farm to help the rest of the team. Maybe he's already created enough space to make it worth it. I guess time will tell. SNY on the way for the Jug as Ursa denies that top tier 1 tower.
Well, that's where he was hoping to get the farm that you're asking for. It's taking down towers, but their towers now getting denied. That certainly is not going to help with it. So hoping that by this point they can get some picks and objective follow-ups. It's not proven to be a very fruitful future, so they'll have to wait a bit. Meanwhile, Medusa's going to fall back on some Ancients that were stacked up nicely for her, so just a slow roll as far as the farm goes for her. For everyone else, it seems like they're just kind of running in loops, maybe sharing some of that XP, but overall, I don't think Moscow5 are at the point they were hoping for at 20 minutes into the game.
Yeah, the tempo definitely slowing down as both sides work on their core items. Ursa probably looking at a basher. He's got that belt to strengthen up the old belly and about 1,900 gold to boot. Other bounce of item progression, BKB coming on out for the Shadow Fiend. Bat Rider has picked up a gem nice and early on here. Takes out that ward as we just saw, so stands to reason some map control will go the way of Power Rangers as they move around and find these stray wards here and there. Dire's side, Medusa, I want to say that'll be a Scotty with that ultimate orb. Could have upgraded the Manta already. Probably just a casual Yasha, and looking for that big beefy Eye of Scotty for some slow action. Whoa, Slander. Who's going to bump into who here? Ditya thinking about initiation, but yeah, doesn't have eyes on the rest of the team and worried he may be jumping into a trap, rightfully so.
Yeah, and you really only have an AA there with you, and with pretty much all but one missing, it's a good chance you're going to run into trouble. Moscow5 have been playing pretty reserved. Nighttime has fallen now, but here we go. Jumping on forward, they're going to get a hold of the big ball, bring it right back to Ditya, and there are the right clicks. Unbelievable. Medusa just gets absolutely demolished. Now looking for any sort of residual kills here. It's going to be the Slander, who's going to get flame break to the side and right click down. Double kill for Shadow Fiend, and it's instantly 2 for none.
2 cores and a tower, Dakota. That is the kind of fight that Moscow5 certainly does not want to take. Now QW getting really big on this Shadow Fiend. #1 on net worth by a nice little bump. They might even get 2 towers out of this. Sure, there's a dire glyph, but can they really posture much of a defense without their prized Medusa? I don't think so.
I don't think so either, man. So with that, this tier 2 gets dropped pretty easily. Some of them can step off to the side, take away the Moscow5 jungle farm for themselves on the way out, and then move to the next objective. Just pretty much taking advantage of this Aegis as long as they can. So clearing out the remaining outer towers could put them to a snowball's point where there's really no looking back. I mean, it would take a pretty big rubber band snap right now for Moscow5 to find their way back into this game. Nightfall is already, what, over halfway through, and they really haven't found a lot.
Yeah, about 7,000 golden experience is the lead for Power Rangers right now. They're feeling pretty damn good. Aegis will be expiring soon. Batrider with his 4 staff, another 1,600 gold to go for him. Maybe some BOTs on the horizon. And it looks like Ancient Apparition, well, he's picked up an Ogre Club. Maybe the beginnings of one of those Aghanim Scepters. Pretty damn good on the AA, but whoa, here we go. Decadence and Big Num ready to charge in. They find J4. He gets hexed, but will be force staffed back into the tower. And again, Jug just can't find this Omni-Slash opener that he wants. Even had the Mask of Madness on level 2 ulti. He's ready for it, but not going to get it.
Who also is ready is Soniko. He's just waiting back and just babysitting. I think Vengeful Spirit, they would love to get her some farm so she can get up to maybe level 11, but she has help nearby. And so the clash, potentially going to be here. Titya. Oh man, they just play footsie with each other right now. Neither team really wants to make the commitment.
Both teams are completely blind for the most part. This is Radiant Vision. They've got no wards in the jungle. Dire had the ward right here, but it was just taken out by the Batrider. So the only vision they'll have is in the lane from their creeps. Both sides feeling like this is risky business. Not sure how they want to initiate. It will be Moscow5 to back it on up and not get caught completely too far forward in the enemy jungle without any sort of vision. That gem from the Batrider really coming in handy.
Yeah, this is just your cookie cutter kind of get up for your Batrider once you get your mobility underway. Take advantage of that mobility and you just kind of take to the skies and allow your team to just have full map control, keep your opponents into uncertainty, and with what bits of farm they can find, they have to funnel it all towards their Medusa, pretty much starving the rest of the team from getting anything. So when you're asking for this Night Stalker who doesn't have much, he is going to continue not to have much, and it's going to be a rough life for him. But they're able to push down bottom. They take this tier 1. Trying to find a trade is Moscow5 right now.
Yeah, so Medusa moving into more of a defensive item build, it looks like. Perseverance with that ultimate orb, I say it will be a Lincoln. So there are tools to break it, but one of those games where basically just blocking stuns and lassos. Whoa, another 4-staff from Soniko. It's like he's just following around this Juggernaut. Anytime he wants to Omni-Slash, he just can't get close enough. Now, in comes Cheshire Cat. Grabs him with the lasso, brings Decadence right into a Requiem. That'll bring him down. Slander taking a lot of damage, but J4 will actually get petrified. He spent too much time looking at the pretty lady. Now the BKB Shadow Fiend just throwing in the right clicks, doing as much damage as he can. Big Num drops the finger, but QW there with the mech. Screen trying to man up on him, but I don't know, this is a duel. He's going to win. The Shadow Fiend still hits hard. Shadow Fiend's still alive. It's a 3-0. M5 in big trouble. Ava trying to press forward. Doing some decent damage on this Dusa, but can't lock anybody down long enough to actually secure the kills. PR posturing like they may reinitiate, but that's where things will end. 3-0. Great plays from Power Rangers as they make it happen. They don't keep their tower alive, but they take another very convincing team fight.
I actually think that's pretty unfortunate for Moscow5. I feel like that was probably their best opportunity to win a big fight there. It was a pretty shaky start of initiation. Bat went in, made the pull back, but at the same moment, Ditya jumped where the lasso happened, so it might have been a bit of misplay, miscommunication. He had to run all the way back to get to that lasso target, and they were able to catch him off with that bit of a misstep, and that allowed the Stone Gaze to actually be pretty effective, but they just didn't have enough farm at this point, or not enough damage, not enough to finish them off. Plus the mech certainly helps. I think that was one of the best opportunities for Moscow5 to do well, and they couldn't even get one of the kills.
Yeah. Well, now the Lincoln is up on Dusa, so the point I wanted to make before that started is there aren't really that many single target abilities. You've got Magic Missile, you've got Lasso, you've got Force Staff. I don't know if too much else they can use to break the Lincolns here. So a good pickup from the Dusa, of course, gives her some nice regen, some good stats. They're going to have to use one of these Force Staves as just a Lincoln's breaker at some point. Wow, that fight also takes Ancient Apparition very close to his Aghanims, now only about 1,500 gold away. Pretty scary. That's one of those Ags upgrades that you're always fearful of pretty much any stage of the game.
Considering he didn't go Midas and he only has 1 kill, he has really good farm. Speaking of ults, he's going to lob one towards the top.
That would have been close to a shatter, I think, if he had hit screen with that.
Yeah, no, it would have. But he's going to be able to make it away. But yeah, man, I don't know. It's just... It's feeling pretty solid here for Power Rangers at this point, and the thing that works out for him is because well, hold on, they get the pull back on the Jug, but it's not going to be close enough. But Dityarod's able to blink forward, catch him up, but nice hook shot in. Doesn't pop the cogs yet, but will drop him there. Creates the safety net. Oh, a swap back though, backfire maybe for Slander. He was just trying to help a friend in need, but he is the one that does go down indeed.
Yeah, they were really hoping that Jug would make it to the low. Oh, Ice Blast is going to hit Decadence. It will. Is this a shatter, Dakota? Yep. It should be.
That is level 2 ultimate. Say your prayers, buddy.
Good
Boom.
night, sweet prince. Nicely played by Seneko. Yeah, they really wanted that Jug to be stuck on the low ground here, but the lasso duration didn't quite make it. Now, PR just look towards high ground, though. 2 heroes dead. Jug does have a buyback. Clockwork does as well. But do they burn him for this high ground defense? They've already used the glyph. There's the Clockwork buyback. He was pretty damn close to respawn as well. No hook shot. I guess that buyback will deter Power Rangers, but boy, does that hurt the Clockwork.
Yeah, I think PR just really wanted to get that buyback out. I mean, they would have been fighting into Stone Gaze. It would have been even a tricky situation if Clockwork wasn't there, but they get what they want regardless, and they're able to pull back. But going back a couple of thoughts, you know, with someone needing to pop that Lincoln's, I mean, though it would cost the Bat Riders Force Staff, they fortunately do have an AA who's been pretty much on his A game with using his own Force Staff to help out, so...
Oh, yeah. How many Force Stabs do they have? Just the 2? Okay. And looks like Seneko and Bat Rider... Well, Seneko going for the Ags. Bat Rider, I think, probably looking for a Yule Scepter. So something else to break the Lincolns. I guess Cold Feet is another thing you could use, but no points in it yet.
Yeah, I guess they just feel
reliable.
Like in the early game, yeah, there's no... They don't have really any... Except for Magic Missile. But that's still not even reliable in itself. It's just no point. I think to just put more into having the slow. The slow helps Ursa catch up, helps Bat Rider. It's long range, amplifies the magic outburst of whatever they got, and Chilling Touch is obviously pretty ridiculously good spell. So now it's Moscow5. Maybe try and do a behind the back play and try to go for Roche.
Not very sneaky, though. Radiant have a ward on the high ground. They weren't smoked up. The jig is already up. They get a couple of pokes into Roche. 3 of them get hit by an Ice Blast. In comes Cheshire Cat. Maybe too aggressive here. Blinks into 5. Gets a lasso. A swap out from J4. It'll save the Bat Rider. He's still alive. Now the rest of PR initiate. They bring down the Night Stalker. They'll lose their Venge, but Shadow Fiend turned into a rock. Still has the BKB on. Channels up the Requiem. Connects on 3. They lose their Clockwork as he tries to zone him out. Finger onto QW. Just not enough as Dityara is just taking out the trash. That's an ultra kill now for the Fuzzy Wuzzy Ursa. 1 for 5 with 2 heroes knocking on death's door. Power Rangers knowing their limits and shutting down Moscow5.
Man, when you see an Ursa in your game, whether it's a game like this and you're a Moscow5 fan, or if you're in a pub and the other team has an Ursa and they just got an ultra kill, your chest hurts. You're just like, ugh. No, whoa, no, what do we do now? But, hey, they do have a Medusa. It is possible to try to stall out. They have pretty impressive high ground defense. I don't know if they actually have good high ground defense. I just feel like maybe this Night Stalker, his window to shine is already passed. The window's been slammed down on his fingers, and they're just, I don't know, trying their best to maybe hope that Medusa can bring this one back.
I think you are exactly right, my friend. He's got a point booster, 900 gold. Thinking about that Aghanim still very far away at this point. He might as well just head out to Harlem, hit the streets, start working the corner, and see if he can find any ways to make a buck with that fancy face of his. Because he is not finding it here in this game. Dire side item progression anywhere else. Dusa has another ultimate orb. Either a Manta or the beginnings of a Scotty. Right now, she is just trying to stay alive as best she can and very light on the damage output. That is one big bottleneck for M5, but kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. She's already having problems surviving, so just going raw damage. You can put a cannon on top of a glass house, but if somebody breaks it before you can fire the cannon, then it's not so useful.
No. And the house has probably got a shaky foundation. I mean, if you look at Clockwork's farm, he's still trying to throw together maybe the early makings of a blade mail, just to try to reflect back what serious damage is already coming forward. But I know Shadow Fiend already has his BKB, so he's going to just laugh at your blade mail reflection. But Moscow5, they are persistent. They are now in enemy territory. They put down a seriously aggressive board. Maybe it's just a safety net for now so they can from the jungle see if anyone kind of happens to pass by and get the early gank there. But it's only AA, and he plays very reserved. AA is just notoriously a turtle kind of hero.
They're rolling the dice and hoping that the Bat Rider is not the first hero to walk by and just kill that ward right away like he did last time. But they will try it again. They see Bat Rider in the top, and now he will rotate down, at least back to the base, maybe through the mid lane. M5 will smoke up as they move out of the Radiant jungle. And I think they will try to catch somebody on the retreat. Also, Shadow Fiend has completed a full Scotty after that BKB. Also has the Aegis to boot from that little roast skirmish we saw just about 2 minutes ago. He is... I mean, him and Ursa both are just massive and very hard to deal with. That's a full Heart of Tarask up on Ditya.
Yeah, these guys are seriously in a league of their own right now with the farm they got. And they should be confident. You can see in the body language, they smoke up.
Ursa's just soloing the Medusa right now. He jumps on her. That was full health, full mana shield on. Ditya just shits down her throat.
Right there. It's ridiculous. But hey, they could get revenge here. They could get a bounty. But they got to kill him twice. No, he doesn't have an Aegis.
They gave it to the Shadow Fiend.
Oh, you're right. Oh, he's just dead.
So not quite as good.
731 bounty.
Yeah, that's a big bounty. But he does get a, well, it's a huge net worth gain for the Dire side, but he does get a solo kill. So he still gets some XP out of it, still does some work, and it's more so just asserting your dominance over the Medusa, saying, hey, this is, we're going to go carry on carry. Medusa can not win that man fight against the bear.
Yeah, I mean, still obviously well worth it, but with that sacrifice, they could easily and comfortably push into the base. They still have 20 seconds of no buyback on Medusa. They might have started this banking that, oh, they can at least force the buyback out from her, and that's going to put her in a really bad spot, but she doesn't even have that.
Yeah,
so
she's
they're able to just...
30 gold, that is painful. They get a free tier 3 tower, and now the barracks are not quite a freebie. Deuce are going to be coming up too soon, but they're just doing this chip damage at the base. M5 just getting picked apart.
They hit these two supports. They can't fight anymore. Look at Lion. He might die. Is he going to die? He's got Agnum Scepter AA ult only level 2. Oh my goodness, that was close. That's like a full life Ice Blast right there. You get hit by that, you're not fighting. You take a lick of damage from a creep, you pretty much have sealed your fate.
This is almost scarier than the amount of damage that these carries are putting out. Seneko can just do so much by himself. If there's a massive team fight and they're clumped up and he hits like 4 heroes with an Ice Blast in a team fight, I mean, even just an Ice Blast into a Requiem that does mediocre damage is crippling to this Dire side.
Yeah. Uh-oh, jump in. A kidnapping underway as they take Clockwork away from his family and into the ground. He is done for. And, well, the bodyguard is dead. Let's go into the base. They start slashing away at this tier 3. This is going to be what looks like the final hurrah here for Moscow5. This is my base now. Walks in, drops the Requiem, which doesn't do much damage, but he's like, this is the carpet I have laid in my new home.
Has Decadence even used an Omni Slash this game? He's got it right now, but he's too scared. He can't go in. His team's just dying. Medusa, Lion, there's the GG. Was there actually an Omni Slash this game? Now I feel dumb that I can't think of one.
Ursa.
Okay, yeah, they killed Ursa. That's nice. All right, well, there's an Omni Slash at the end there for good measure. But, boy, Power Rangers. Really just looking good against Moscow5. That was one of those games that there wasn't like an obvious thing that Moscow5 did poorly or threw, or a particularly terrible fight that they took. It was just Power Rangers outmaneuvering them around the map, getting more out of the lanes, having kind of a sound strategy with the Ursa as well as the Shadow Fiend to kind of play on each other. They just got everything they wanted. The position 4 Night Stalker, though, I think Screen might have to pull a different trick out of the bag this next go-round because PR was ready and waiting for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a best of 3, and from what we saw in the last series, game number 1 was a domination from Hellraisers, We got 2 more games, Larry. You really never know how things can go, but it is PR with the 1-game advantage. Looking to take on Moscow5 in the next match. Winner moves on. Loser, their Summit 3 road ends here.
Absolutely. So stick around, folks. Our final best of 3 of the day will go on after this break.